They said that you've raised the bar so high, they don't know how anybody else is going to be able to match up with you. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk to you about how I manifested my second job, which is more recent. We're talking 2015. What I asked for was a job where boss would be more accommodating and, you know, they'll have empathy for me, if you like. Advisor said to me that actually we have a scheme for people who've been unemployed for 6 months, because we believe that after 6 months things become increasingly difficult. A list of vacancies if you're interested, and I said, even before she told me what the vacancies were, I thought one of those jobs definitely has got my name on it. The application, filled out the forms, and rather than send it direct to the company, I had to give it to my advisor, who then sent it to another department. They check it, then send it to the company. So that was that, and I was more or less just waiting for an interview. I was updating my skills. This particular day, one gentleman who, you know, always comes in, when he sees me, always comes to say hello. So this time he came, because I was on the PC, and then he came up to me and he goes, "Hi," and I looked at him. I had to do a double take, like, wow, did you get the job? Because he was all suited and booted, so I was teasing him a little bit. He goes, "Oh no, I went for a job fair." And I thought, what? Job fair? How come I didn't know about this? Because I thought I had all my angles covered. "So don't worry," he said, "there's another one tomorrow at the shopping mall." Now the shopping mall is just like literally 2 minutes, spitting distance. The chances are that if he hadn't come to tell me, I'd been none the wiser. The following day, I went to the job fair during my lunch break. Stands from different organizations. I thought, okay, let's just have a look. But I couldn't believe my eyes. There's the company, the organization that I actually applied for the job, and there's the lady talking to a woman. So I went up to them, and I was hoping actually that one of them will break away and talk to me, and he did finish with her, and they both concentrated on me. And I explained to them, I said, "Oh, I've just applied for a job, you know, with your organization. To be qualified for this job was that you have to be unemployed for 6 months." He goes, he said, "Now if you hadn't mentioned that, I wouldn't have been obliged to say anything about that, because it's more of an interior thing." I said, "Oh, really?" He goes, "Actually, I'm the one that organizes that. I'm the one that puts out the vacancies to agencies to find the right people to come in." I thought, wow. So while we're talking, he asked for my name 3 times, and I thought, maybe I have to write it down for him, because he said that when my application lands on his desk, he'll look out for me. What he said was, "If you like, you know, once I get your application from, I'd invite you in, we'll sit, we'll talk about what to expect in the interview, what to expect in the job, etc., etc." And I thought, wow, what are the chances? A few days later, I received an email, and it was from him, and he said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, you haven't been invited for an interview." And I was surprised, because I felt it, really felt it, that I was definitely going to get invited for an interview and then go on to get the job. So, but he said, you know, however, if you want feedback, please, you know, don't hesitate. And of course I wasn't hesitating. The minute I pressed send, I clicked send, my landline started to ring. Now you gotta understand, like most people, I barely use my landline, and I think this is the first time it was ringing, so I didn't even recognize the ringtone. All I kept thinking, what is that irritating noise? It was my landline, so I picked it up, and it was him on the other line. He said, "Please," he said, "please disregard that email I sent you. You have been invited for an interview." And I thought, okay, cool. And then he told me what dates the interview was. And I was scheduled to be out of town in that period. And I thought, oh my goodness. I said, "Is there any chances of bringing the interview forward? Because I'm not going to be around at that time." So he went away, and a few minutes later, you know, there's a lot of to-ing and fro-ing. But he came back and he said, "Yeah, it's sorted. They can see you on such and such a date." and we are good to go. I was so really grateful to him. So I got really excited and I started doing my own research and practicing my interviewing skills. The interview date came, I got, you know, the interview went so swimmingly is what I said. Laughter, genuine laughter. There was 3 of them, the 3 on the panel. The interview was completed, you know, on my way home I stopped and I got 3 thank you cards and I sent it to each and every one of them. And I remember while I was standing at the bus stop on my way home, I got a call from, I'm going to call him my earth angel. And he said, I just got feedback from your interview. I said, yeah. He goes, they said that you've raised the bar so high, they don't know how anybody else is going to be able to match up with you. And by the way, I think it was like 3 days later, I got a phone call to say that I got the job, and I thought, thank you very much, I am so grateful. It took 3 months to do the checks and everything, so whilst I wanted to be there with them during the Christmas and, you know, get into the swing of things as it were, I couldn't really start till January. But to be honest, it worked out better because it's just nice and neat that way. I started the first day back at work in January, and it was great. And the contract was only supposed to be for 6 months. So 6 months came up, I had a review, and they invited me to stay for another 6 months, which was absolutely super. So for the whole of 2016, last year, I was in employment, which was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. They bent over so much backwards for me in that company. Everything that I asked for, I got. So regarding my skin issues, I had to keep disappearing every so often. And unfortunately, sometimes 15, sometimes 20 minutes, because I'd be in the bathroom scratching and I couldn't help myself, you know. But what I'd do was I'd not take a lunch break, which was only like half an hour. I'd just eat while I was working. They were fun to work with, the ladies there. They're just really, really lovely people. And then I went away in October. I had a holiday in October. When I got back, things got progressively worse with my skin. I was just overheating like something else, to the point where obviously in October it's a bit cooler, but I couldn't bear any heat at all. I needed to be cold. That was the only way I could function. So yeah, they put me in a different room, switched off the radiators, opened the windows, and warned everybody else, if you do go in there, don't touch the radiators and leave the windows open because Jumbo is overheating. We need to keep her comfortable. That's how much they bent over backwards for me. I looked out the window and I thought, oh, what a lovely view this is. There's like big, like 6 trees, really thick with foliage, and the hedge, and which is again rich and thick, and the lovely grass that was always being mowed every so often. I think, oh, lovely, lovely, lovely view. And then instantly I remembered it was one of the things that I wanted, because when I want to manifest my jobs, there's a wind. I always need to be sat by a window, and the view should always be fantastic. And it was. It took me 6 months. See, sometimes when I manifest stuff and I write down exactly what it's not always obvious everything, you know. Sometimes it takes 6 months and I realize, oh my goodness, that's what I asked for and I got it. So it's always so great for this vlog. So please comment, please like, subscribe, and share if you dare. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.